Hi, hello, dietitian Teresa here. I'm back with another video, and today we're going to talk all about fat loss myths for women. I love making content for women in the health and fitness space, all towards teaching women how to nourish their bodies properly to become their most strongest and nourished self. I'm into building muscle, strength training, nourishing your body with the proper fuels and macronutrients, and teaching a different perspective on fat loss. And it doesn't have to be this restrictive time in your life. It actually can be an enjoyable process, but that's getting away from the never-ending dieting cycle or yo-yo diet. We're not about those here. I'm about sustainability and teaching women where intentionality with your nutrition and lifestyle can also meet that intuitive principles that your body naturally tells you to do and integrate them both amidst the chaos of what life can bring. So let's hop right into the video. Okay, so for a quick breakdown, the common 5 fat loss myths that I hear often and what is often researched online. So how to spot reduce fat. What low calorie diet is going to get me the best fat loss results? Is cardio the best form of exercise for fat loss? And eating less equals faster results. And the last one is fat-free foods are the only option for you. And in addition to that, I want to throw in the sugar-free alternatives to that category as well when you're in your fat loss phase. All right, so myth number 1, spot reducing your fat works. So this is something where we're like, okay, I would like to have a really lean and toned stomach for the summer, or I want to make my legs smaller or more toned looking. That's not necessarily the case on how our bodies work. And especially like trying to, reduce belly fat with crunches or use plie squats in Pilates just to tone your legs. Like that's not, yes, those movements can really help strengthen, elongate your muscles, and really get that lean muscular look over time when done very consistently. But that's not the only thing that is going to contribute to the results you see. The crunches, the plie squats, there's a whole lot more to it. Fat loss actually occurs throughout your whole body. Now, I'm just gonna be real with you and say that you have to put in the work to see fat loss overall. Those magazines out there that have fat, like have super lean, very low body fat percentage women on there, they have put in the work and were very, very regimented in their nutrition and exercise routine. But that does not mean that has to be you, right? I feel a lot of times we go for this aesthetic that it's like, honey, you are a woman. You are in a woman's body. Like curves are okay. And falling in love with your body in like the process of a fat loss phase of saying, okay, I understand that I'm not going to be able to spot reduce this fat, but I'm going to love my body in the process. You might see some body recomp changes when done correctly and approached correctly. But ultimately, the 6-pack abs there's a very strong genetic factor that plays a role there. And so if that doesn't run in your genetics, like it's going to, yes, I will say it is possible, but honestly, your quality of life probably wouldn't be stellar if you were trying to go for the 6-pack abs, because you have to be super meticulous. And that's not really what I want to promote here. I want to promote you loving your body in the process and feeling really dang strong and like you are thriving in life, not just surviving. So that's a little tangent, but in all, you just have to put in the work. You cannot spot reduce your fat. The arm, like women say they're bat wings. You can't just get rid of bat wings. You have to, okay, start doing more upper body workouts, sure. And maybe some more tricep focus workouts. But yeah, that will help, but you also have to do the full body workouts, the squats, being intentional about other exercises too. So understand, you have to put in the work, full body, and you can't spot reduce fat. Myth number 2 is that low calorie diets are the best approach to fat loss. All right, I'm gonna stop you there and I want you to evaluate if you've ever thought this. Maybe I've thought this at one point in time. I'm not perfect either. I had to learn it too. Low calorie diet and a total is not the solution. Yes, a calorie deficit is needed when you want to lose fat, but that does not mean slash your calories in half. What that means is you would have to evaluate, okay, what is your current maintenance caloric intake at? Can you maintain your maintenance eating in a comfortable manner, or do you still feel like you're feeling restricted? So with this low calorie diet thing, like that's the answer. It might be the answer for a month or two. But then what happens to the next month or two? Many women say, I want to lose fat, so therefore I'm just going to slash my calories. But you have to think about this. You need to really prep your body in order to go into that fat loss phase. It's not like you can just wake up one day and be like, I think I want more for myself, so therefore I want to lose fat, so therefore I'm going to go in a calorie deficit. It's not that simple. What needs to happen before that, I'll give you an example here so that you could better understand. So let's say a woman comes to me, she's been yo-yo dieting for years and years now. She's struggled with some weight gain. She is not really comfortable in her body, her clothes aren't fitting, her waist size is going up in size. She just does not feel comfortable in her body. She doesn't feel good. She wants more for herself. Maybe she threw in some intermittent fasting too, iced coffee in the morning, doing a lettuce salad with just some protein and a low-fat dressing, and then for dinner, she will have more chicken and vegetables with some rice, and then she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so hungry after she's wind down from the day, and then she just goes into the pantry or the fridge and eats everything. And then it's this cycle of like, why can't I control myself during the day? Why can't I reach these fat loss results? It's just not possible. It is possible. If she has been only eating 900 to 1200 calories daily as a 30-year-old woman who has a job and maybe some kids and is active on top of everything and is the caretaker of the family, you know, she's expending a lot of energy. But her fuel, like her calorie bucket, is always in the negative because she's never fueling her body enough. So what I would do with that person, I would really work on, okay, what's that relationship with food like? Start with that mindset piece and say, okay, how would you feel if you really took time to nourish, take a step back, fuel your body, let's fuel your body, increase your calories to where your metabolism is really fiery, you're feeling great, you're feeling energized, your sleep is better, your workouts are better, you're lifting more weight, and then over time, over about 3 to 6 months of working up to that phase, then maybe we reevaluate, and then it's the time to do a calorie deficit. Because a calorie deficit shouldn't happen if you're a 30-year-old woman eating only 900 to 1200 calories a day. Because then you're stuck with only 900 or below calories, because usually it's a 200 to 300 calorie deficit depending on where you're starting. But that's where I would start as a small little deficit. But I'm not going to start you out if you're eating that little already. So you get what I'm saying? You really have to evaluate, where are you at? Is fat loss actually appropriate? And so if you think about that example, that severe restriction of calories she's not intaking over time can contribute to relative energy, which ultimately means the fuel that you are expending is way more than the fuel that you are taking in. And over time, you can't really fill up that bucket ever. So your body starts shutting down your natural cues of like hunger, period, your body temperature control gets a little wonky, hair and nails get weak, things like that start happening, muscle loss. You might start feeling weaker in your workouts and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm pushing myself so much, but I'm not seeing results. That can happen. Nutrient deficiencies, because we're not fueling our bodies properly in the meantime. So no, low calorie is not necessarily the best option. So my focus would be to make small tweaks to what you're already doing, depending on where you're coming from, of course. That example was just one example of where somebody could be starting. Just small tweaks for making lifelong behavior change in the process, rather than saying slash your calories in half tomorrow and fat loss will happen. Third myth is that cardio is the best thing for fat loss. I am not dissing cardio because cardio is so important for your heart health, and but it shouldn't be your only focus. So if I had a client that came to me and said they wanted a woman that was adequately fueling and has been working out, but now wants to run 2 to 5 miles every other day for the fat loss reasons, I wouldn't really love that approach because I'm telling you, if you pick up some weights and you start strength training, because that strength training is gonna really help with building that lean muscle tissue, but that has to be paired with proper nutrition, of course, and other lifestyle, sleep and stuff, but you get the point. It's ideal to follow a strength training program for at least 10 to 12 weeks, progressive overloading. So you're progressive overloading, you're increasing the overload on your muscles each workout, and you wanna keep the workouts the same week to week. This could be 2 workouts a week. This could be up to 4 or 5 workouts a week, depending on what's going on in your life. When you pick up the weights and you start strength training consistently, that contributes to building lean muscle tissue. Lean muscle tissue, therefore, burns more calories than just having fat on your body. So if you have more lean muscle tissue on your body naturally is burning more calories at rest. It's awesome for our hormones. It's awesome for our metabolisms. It's really helpful with like your insulin sensitivity. And then also too, it can really help with that fat loss, because over time your body's like, hey, I'm being fueled properly. I'm building some lean muscle tissue. Therefore, I'm feeling safe and strong. I'm gonna let go of this extra body fat that I've been holding on to just to keep some weight on me so I can survive, rather than now you're shifting it to the thrive part of lifestyle. And so yeah, still playing cardio into your daily routine. That is really important too along your fat loss journey. But a lot of times women take it too far. They're like, all right, I'm going from 0 to 15,000 steps tomorrow and every day for the next 3 months. Okay, might be a little bit of a hop. So incrementally increasing that, yes, you want to keep your NEAT exercise up. So your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, of which you're doing housework, chores, gardening, things like that, that you just do activities. But then if you can add in a few walks during the day during your fat loss phase, just doing the lift in the gym and then sitting at your desk at work all day won't cut it. Like, that's not really gonna contribute to better results. So if you can add in a walk during the middle of the day, things like that. So cardio does not mean it's the best, and it doesn't also mean you need to throw cardio out completely. But primarily focus on the strength training, build some muscle, build that lean tissue, and supplement that with some cardio for great heart health, and just for that dopamine hit when you're on a walk and out in the sun and getting some vitamin. Myth number 4, eating less is always better. I don't think I've ever said that to any of my clients ever. And no, just no. Eating less is not always better. Ladies, especially if you are in your 20s and 30s and you are growing still, you are evolving and your hormones are always shifting and you have your cycles and you are in that fertile stage of life, you got a lot going on. If you are going into a fat loss phase, you need to get your mind out of starting an intermittent fasting regimen or starting to really slash your calories, and eating less means I'm doing better. No, girl, eating more, lifting some weights, and taking care of yourself is better. Not depriving yourself of your favorite foods and really doing exercise you hate, and then also too saying no to social outings because you need to hit this aesthetic goal. That is not the quality of life that you deserve. It's super counterproductive to go into a fat loss phase saying, oh, just eating less will get me results. Be eating enough protein, enough calories overall to help build that lean tissue overall. Oftentimes going into the mindset with the eating less is more and eating less will get me better results. Sure, again, it will probably do something within the first month or two, but then I want you to be knowledgeable of like, how are you fueling your metabolism in the process of this fat loss phase, so that after you're done with that phase, you are using behavior changes and your body is metabolically adapted to being this just like this little vessel that's like so strong, and like you feel so nourished and you feel so happy and accomplished because you're thriving throughout the process. My focus really would be on like, if a woman came to me with this eating less is more, or the less I eat, the more results I'll have. I would really work on that mindset, of course, behind it. Maybe some relationship with food and things like that. That always plays a role. But I would also really focus on shifting the focus to maybe increasing those nutrient-dense and fibrous foods like your fruits and vegetables. And then making sure your protein is staying sufficiently high, and that moderate carbohydrate distribution, and then healthy, nourishing fats that will supply your body and your hormones with the nutrients they need, like your hormones need to be able to function optimally. My approach there is to really help women stray away from that binge restrict cycle, because I want you to feel fueled and nourished in the midst of your fat loss phase. So we're not gonna go at it like, eat less is great. No, I want to teach you how to eat more and therefore see results. Myth number 5. So fat-free foods are the best and fat-free is healthier. Okay, if you believe this, I can get it, because the labels can be misleading, but fat-free foods, like prepackaged fat-free yogurts and cheeses and snacks and things like that, does not automatically make it healthier. If you read the ingredients on there, they are packing that product full of other ultra-processed alternatives, sweeteners, sugars, and gums, just to get the texture and taste of the original product. If I have a woman coming to me and saying like they're using like, I can't believe it's not butter or margarine, I'm gonna tell you just to have the butter, and we're gonna work that into your macronutrient distribution, because I'd rather see you have that than something that is totally like chemically produced. Not that I'm saying those treats can't ever be had and you can't ever eat them, but I feel like when people go into this fat loss phase, everything's automatically either fat-free or sugar-free. Sugar-free is super common. You know, you have the sugar-free syrups, the sugar-free sweeteners. Then you make a protein baked good. Like you use erythritol and like things like that just tear your stomach up. And again, I've used those things and I use those things sometimes, but I feel like the fat-free, sugar-free stuff can be used predominantly in a fat loss phase, but I don't want that for my clients. I don't want that for a woman like following my page. But what I want to do here on this channel is to teach women how to fuel your bodies with that whole food nutrition. Yes, you can have the sugar-free stuff, the fat-free foods if you like those sometimes, but predominantly your nutrition will be whole foods based, and we're gonna find delicious alternatives or like just changes to the foods you love to maybe fit your macronutrients in a fat loss phase, that it doesn't have to be like gross. It doesn't, fat loss means okay, sugar-free alternatives, everything, because that really doesn't do a lot for your health. Like I'm all into how to nourish your health and your hormones, and so loading up on that stuff like the fat-free pre-packaged stuff and all these alternatives, you don't have to do that. I think it's just made known that it's common, but you don't have to do that. I would really make room for more fats probably in your macros, especially for women, because our hormones love those fats. And the unsaturated fats, mainly predominantly in your diet, and then sprinkle in those saturated fat sources, and really focus on a variety of foods rather than saying, all right, keep putting sugar-free syrup, sugar-free jello, adding erythritol and sucralose and all this stuff into your baked goods or getting every alternative known to man, we can find real food options. Whole foods is possible in a fat loss phase, and I just want women to understand that. So that concludes all 5 myths of fat loss for women. If anything out of this video, you just get a few tidbits of information that you didn't know before and you're like, take it, move on, that's fine. If you found a lot from this video, like, subscribe. I would love to hear in the comments any other topics that you would like to see on future videos. I know I'm just trying to build this platform and I'm just learning my way, because I truly believe knowledge is power, especially when it comes to nutrition and lifestyle. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, if you want to like, subscribe, that's awesome. I will see you in the next video.